Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the opening action, the trading setup and the market strategies you need to know for this fresh and new week. We'll start off with understanding what happened last week and what is the key trigger that the markets will be looking at for this new week as well. So the Nifty index is heading into this truncated week because 27th of August is a holiday on account of Ganesh Chaturthi. We've had two successive weekly gains, but the second weekly advance was soured by the bears during the final trading session on Friday on the week as well. So despite that, the markets did end the week with a gain of about 1%. Now what happened over the weekend is also we did see Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole. That was actually quite dovish, and Powell's key message was that continued weakness in payrolls would be enough to resume cutting rates as well. So there is a strong chance that September as well as in October there could be rate cut announcements that could be coming in as well. So Powell's baseline was that tariff-driven inflation would be relatively short-lived, and markets were surprised by Powell's dovish message as well. What we did see on the Wall Street was that it rallied after Powell's speech, sending the S&P 500 index to its best day since May, and the index closed about 1.5% higher in trade. We also did see the Nasdaq that was up by 1.8%. Now, the September Federal Reserve rate cuts pricing has actually moved to 23 basis points. That's 55% chance of a consecutive cut in October too. Now, we did also see the Asian markets perform well this morning. Australian stock benchmark gauge did hit a fresh record high. China's CSI 300 and Hong Kong's Hang Seng were also up by about 1%. Japan's Nikkei was up by 0.7%, and that's also indicating that we could also be looking forward to starting the day and the week on a positive note at 24,951 as the gift Nifty trends are being indicated. Remember, the August 27 tariff deadline of US President Donald Trump that looms over the Indian market, and it's likely that a 50% tariff threatened on India by Trump administration will take effect on Wednesday, which actually happens to be our own market holiday on account of Ganesh Chaturthi. Now, there's also, apart from this, the GDP data for the quarter to be reported both in India and the US. They will be also key triggers. And August 29 is when we also see RIL's AGM. So that will be also another big trigger for the week now. Domestic equity markets, remember, like we are also pointing out, and you can see the levels ticking on your screens as far as the pre-open trade is concerned, mildly on the positive zone at 24,888. So that's something that we will look at. And of course, we are also going to be looking at some of the news flows, especially when it comes to the Nifty rejig and the FTSE rejig that's being announced as well. We will also be helping you understand some of the key stocks that you could look at. So Indigo, Interglobe Aviation, Max Healthcare, those are the two stocks that I'll be looking at right in the beginning, because they are set to replace two stocks, that's Hero MotoCorp and IndusInd Bank in the benchmark Nifty 50 index, effective September 30th. So what you could do is look at Indigo right now. It's indicative of a positive start at 62.50 odd levels, about 2.5% higher in trade. We're also given to understand that we could look at Max Healthcare, that's also looking up. But on the flip side, look at a Hero MotoCorp and IndusInd Bank. There could be mild weakness on these stocks because they will be removed from the Nifty index. Apart from that, remember, IndusInd Bank will also be in focus because the stock after CRISIL has actually removed its long-term rating from rating watch with negative implications and has reaffirmed rating at CRISIL AA+, while assigning it a negative outlook is going to be in focus as well. For now, at least, there's a percent kind of an uptick that we can see on this one. There's also the FTSE rejig that all of us have to know. This is the world rejig, the all-world rejig that will also keep some of the stocks in focus, like an Indian Overseas Bank or an Autumn Investments, Hexaware Technologies, Cholamandalam Financial Services, Godfrey Phillips, JK Cement, MCX, Narayana Health. These will all be included in the index from September 22nd of 2025. So keep all those stocks also in focus right now. Of course, we'll be waiting for our guest to join in. We are waiting for Vaishali Parekh. to join in to track the technicals for us. She's the head of technical research at Prabhudas Leeladhar. Warm welcome to you, Vaishali. Good to have you with us on this Monday morning. Well, 2 consecutive weeks of positive move despite all the volatility is what we have successfully got. Now we are into the third week, which is a truncated one. There will be high spirits of festivities in India across the country. But at the same time, how do you expect the markets to perform?
So good. Last week also on Monday we had discussed and we had said that 25 150 acts as a hurdle, 150 250, and that's what precisely happened. Now today also, well, on Friday we saw slightly a weak close, and today we are seeing a positive start. So what is important is we need to sustain above 24 950 on near term basis to look forward to a target of 25,100. So unless and until we move past 25 150 clearly and sustain, I think this is quite a sideways move. So that would be my view. 24 400 acts as the support, weekly support, and on a near-term basis, I would say 24 600. So we need to, for a near-term basis, let's see if we are sustaining about 24 950. We can be ready for 25,000 levels.
Okay, got that. So 24,959 is already on your screen, viewers, about 89 points higher in trade. So we could be looking at a positive start for sure today, with a lot of sectors and stocks also participating in trade. Let's try and understand on the key stocks then that could be in focus. We marked out some rejig news already, Vaishali, that, of course, Nifty 50 rejig will keep some of the stocks in focus, and the FTSE All World rejig will also keep some stocks in focus. Let's start off by those that will be added on the Nifty. So what we are given to understand is that Max Healthcare could be in focus because it will be replacing, one of the stocks in the Nifty index, and that will be in focus. We'll also be looking at Indigo getting added into the Nifty index this time around from September 30th. How will you look at these two stocks?
So let's talk about Max Health. Of course, it has already been in a good trend, and I think the positive bias should continue. So if you're looking at a broad-based perspective, I think 1200 should act as a support. And once we see the stock moving about 1350 levels, this could give a further uptick towards maybe 1380 or so. So for now, with 1200 as support, one can attempt a buy. And as far as Indigo is concerned, well, it's already showing a lot of strength. So yes, view continues to be positive. Sorry.
It's okay. All right, we'll also look at those which will be of negative implications. So, Hero and IndusInd Bank, those are the stocks that are set to be excluded at this point in time. Any knee-jerk reaction you expect here?
So I would say yes. For this sake, I think maybe we may see some profit booking. But I think once again, if we come towards 4,800 and if we sustain over there, I think that could be a good buying opportunity. Because overall, the stock has already got into a trend. One-way rally right from 4,200 to 5,100 levels. So from here on, if we see a little bit of a retracement, it's not a worry. 4,800 should act as a good support for the new round of momentum to start with. And now talking about IndusInd, well, it has been quite a disappointed stock. I mean, every attempt, it fails to give a sustained upward move. So I would say 720 is now the support. It is below all the moving averages. It's on a downward trajectory. So 720, 740 is the support band. So unless and until these levels are held on, one can expect a bounce.
Okay, got that. Let me also ask you on one of the banking spaces that apart from IndusInd Bank is going to be in focus, and that's Yes Bank today. Now, what we are given to understand is that Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, or SMBC, has actually finally got an approval from RBI, Reserve Bank of India, to acquire about 24.99% stake of the paid up share capital or voting rights of the bank. Remember, this approval is valid for 1 year. RBI has also clarified that SMBC will not be classified as a promoter of the bank, at least for now, but the stock is already giving a reaction on the positive end of about 5% odd. Would you still be looking at any trading positions that could be taken on Yes Bank on the back of positive news flows here, Vaishali?
I would say, well, it's showing signs of improvement. You can take it as a trading range. 1850 should act as a support right now. As you said, yeah, we are seeing a gap up opening. This can go towards 22 levels. So ahead, I mean, about 22, then there is a further clarity that the stock is getting in a trend. But for now, 22, 22.50 acts as a strong hurdle.
Okay, fair point. So those are the key, stocks in news that could be clearly in focus. We'll also come to some other stocks that are in focus on the back of brokerage houses radar as well. But Vaishali, I have to ask you, last week the entire momentum was focused on the consumption-driven spaces like autos, for instance, FMCG, consumer durables, for instance, as well. These were the sectors that were actually buzzing on the back of the GST rationalization news. Let's try and understand what's in the offing for these sectors. Have they kick started on a positive trajectory? Will this carry on in momentum? Your favorite sectors within consumption right now, what would that be?
Well, so one of them, of course, is liquor stocks, which are doing
Okay.
quite well. The other one, of course, Hindustan Unilever, that is also getting into a trend. So I think for a long-term perspective, this can be looked into. But I think, of course, ITC with higher tariff and all has taken a beating. But I think at lower levels, 380 levels, this should not be a miss.
Okay, got that. What about the auto space? Would you believe that some of the stocks here can continue to drive even further?
I would say so. Look at Mahindra and Mahindra, in spite of all the choppiness, what market has been witnessing in the recent past, it was holding on so well. And now, once again, it has come towards its high. So I think Mahindra and Mahindra is doing very well. I'm also bullish on TVS Motors, etc. Hyundai is doing so well, but I would not recommend a buy. I would look at the two-wheelers for a buy and decline. But all these stocks have already run up, and I'm sure most of them would be holding it. So I would say continue holding with the trailing stop loss.
Okay, fair point. So that's as far as the auto basket is concerned. Let me also ask you on a few other spaces as well. Consumer durables, including names like, the cables and wires segment, EMS plays. These were also the spaces that were garnering a lot of attention of our viewers. Even last week, we saw PG Electroplast consistently rallying. We were talking about it even the last week as well. Again, this space seems to be showing us some more momentum here. Of course, valuation is one picture that a lot of fundamental analysis will definitely be into picture, but because of all the positive news flows that are coming in, can one continue to really look at this space?
Okay, so Sakshi, if you talk about Dixon Technology, King's Technology, in fact, the other ones that you mentioned, PG, Electroplast, these are all technically, I would say, very well placed. So I guess with a favorable risk-reward ratio, these could be looked into. Along with that, even in the cash category, since we're talking about cables and all, look at Reliance Cables, Reliance Industries. These are the stocks which are also technically very well placed. So I am definitely considering these stocks. Which should give a good upside.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also helped a lot of our viewers really understand what could be in the offering today and what could be in focus in terms of these consumption oriented sectors as well. Let me also just push you a little more and to try and understand when it comes to the key stocks that could be in focus for this fresh and new trading session as well. Any key stock ideas that you could give our viewers?
In any particular sector, are you
In
asking me,
any
or
particular sector that you would want to pick out from for just for trading idea for today?
so sector-wise? It's hard to tell right now. Let's see how the day starts. But on Friday's data, I really like Supreme Industries. It was moving very well. It's formed a good trend. So I would definitely consider this stock. I think about 4650 positional buy trade could be good for a target of 4900 levels. So this is one of the stocks that is on my radar right now. I'm also looking at the defense stocks, but I'll wait for some clarity because HAL and all are very nicely placed, but it needs to
Yeah.
cross 4600 to see a higher target. So Muscat Talk, HAL, there are a lot of positive flows coming in, news flows, but we are not seeing it in the price action. So once we see HL going above 4600, Muscat Talk are quite well placed. These are the stocks which look attractive right now.
Okay, so a lot of defense related plays that are into focus, HL, Mazagon Dock, they could be clearly in focus. That's the view that Vaishali has shared right here. 3.5% higher for even Mazagon Dock that could be looking at in trade today. So a positive start as far as the defense names are concerned. What about railways, for instance? Do you think even railways that started to show us some momentum last 1 or 2 weeks can carry on? We also have a lot of news flows that are coming in with regards to, say, a RailTel. So many order news flows are coming in actually. So anything specifically within railways that you like for trading action?
So overall, well, again, the technical levels are very attractive. If I talk about Jupiter wagons, if I talk about RVNL, if I talk about Titagar wagons, these are all technically very well placed. So I think we'll wait for the momentum to set in, but definitely my eyes are on these stocks to look for buying opportunity.
Okay, got that. Since we've been talking a lot about the consumption-oriented spaces, let's not leave out even retail, for instance. Trent is in focus today again because HSBC, the brokerage firm, has come out with a report. It has a buy rating and a target price of 6,500 on Trent. Now, they believe for Zudio, which is their prime product and the store on the back of which and on the expansion of that, Trent has actually been buzzing quite a lot. Now for Zudio, they say that only 12 cities out of 235 cities, more than 10 stores each with minimal 20% store overlap, assuming 6% triple SG over FY25 to FY28 is being seen at this point in time versus a 5-year average in high double digits at this point in time. Although they see enough levers to achieve estimated triple SG, also while 75 times kind of a valuation looks expensive, but on a PEG basis it comes to 2.4 times versus a 3 times for a Vishal Megamart or a 4.7 times for Page Industries, in spite of Trent's higher growth, profitability and ROCE profile, and that's where they're still bullish on Trent for that matter. Now, this is an interesting story to really look at, Vaishali. Trent in 2024 was the outperformer within the Nifty stocks, doubled investors' money, was the only Nifty stock that doubled investors' money in 2024. This year, on all the parameters, it has rather lagged. Only in the last 1 month or so, we've been seeing some, recovery come into focus on the stock. It's back above 5,400 kind of levels, but it was lagging pretty much the whole year. What's in the offing for Trent? At these valuations, a lot of fundamental experts are questioning whether we should enter, but looking at the opportunities and its past performance, a lot of people still believe that Trent can repeat what it did in the past year. How would you really look at this stock?
Right now, it's too early to say. I would still take it as a trading strategy. We have spoken about this earlier also. 5,000 acted as a very good support, and from there on, we are seeing a good pickup coming in. So for now, I would take it as a 5,600 would act as a resistance. Unless and until we see a decisive move above 5,600 levels and sustaining above that, I would still take it as a trading range. It makes sense only above 5,600 levels to get a clear picture that yes, we are ready for higher targets of 6,000 and higher. So for now, let's wait and watch. If you have to buy, 5,600 level is the level to watch.
Okay, let's start looking at the markets which have started to tick on a higher note. 24,925 being seen right in the morning trade, 0.2% higher for the Nifty. Among the sectors, it is IT, real estate, PSU banks, metals that are showing us some strong ticks, despite the fact that India VIX is also higher by about 2.6% at 12.06 levels. So barring Nifty Bank and financial services and private banks, rest of the sector still look up. So the banking space is still on the back foot at this point in time. Let's look at a few stocks that are buzzing. Yes Bank, that we marked out for all our viewers on the back of news flow that will be in focus today, that's up by 3.5%. Mazagon Dock was marked out by Vaishali. That's also among the top F&O movers, at least at this point in time. Apart from this, IT space, that's in clear focus. Wipro, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, HCL Technologies, TCS, all the 4-5 movers on the Nifty on the higher end are from the IT space. So that's clearly taking it away right now. 1.6% higher in trade for this one. Broader markets also open up on a positive note. 0.3% higher for both the mid and the small caps, at least at this point in time. The advances are 1393 vis-a-vis the declines of 422, at least at this point in time. So it's the IT space that's clearly in focus, and we're also looking at some buying coming in on real estate, pharma, metals, PSU banks, at least for now. The clear green stock is Yes Bank, 20 points levels, and you can see about a 3.3% uptick right now. What's dragging in the index? Well, on the FNO space, it's again BSE, about 1.5% lower. Angel One, another 1% lower in trade. Remember, these stocks were in focus and were declining in the previous week as well on the back of some anticipation on change in the tenure of derivatives contracts, as was indicated by SEBI chief Mr. Tuhin Kanta Pandey, and that's where these stocks also lost some momentum and they continue to drag a bit. You can actually see the market breadth improving on the back of higher gains on the IT stocks now, 1.8% higher. Let's try to understand how should you play the IT move right on Monday morning. Vaishali, how would you look at IT index soaring higher?
So I would say yes, technically very well placed. This needs to really participate because I think Bank Nifty is showing exhaustion. So for Nifty to sustain these levels, it has to be IT, Pharma, Metal Index, all these to participate. So right now I'm looking at, of course, IT stocks like, as we spoke, I think I do like Coforge. Even TCS looks quite all right for a bounce back. Then there is KPIT. So these stocks do look attractive at these levels.
Okay, fair point. Do look attractive at these levels. You're also looking at even the mid-cap stocks like Emphasis for that instance that's buzzing in trade. Let me also pull up the Nifty 500 names. Anything interesting here that we could mark out? Yes, there is. You can see TVS Motor, that's in focus today, and definitely in news flows as well. You can also look at names like JK Paper, that's higher. West Coast Paper, I think a lot of paper stocks are higher. Imami Paper Mills is also up in trade. So at least 3 of the paper stocks that I could mark out from the paper stocks today that is in focus, the entire sector. Let me also look at some other stocks. Our Systems is higher in trade. Swan Defense is moving up. Indo Solar is higher in trade as well. Setco Automotive, that's also in focus, and you can see BGR Energy Systems. Some of these stocks, Aditya Birla Money, these stocks are in focus. As far as the Nifty 500 basket is concerned. Malu Paper Mills is also up. Vaishali, what do you spot in the paper stocks? A sudden momentum across the board?
Yes, it's JK Papers for me right now. I'm looking at it. It's showing a lot of good, robust candle, and volume also is okay to start with. So with today's lowest stop loss, one can look into it for a target of 400 levels, 410.
Okay, got that. So, strong momentum there. JK Paper up 12.7%, a very smart move that is being seen as far as, the stock is concerned. And, Malu Paper is also up by 6%. Many others are also looking up in trade as well. Let me just also point out some of the other stocks that are buzzing. Real estate is up by 0.7% odd. This is one of the favorite spaces that we always discuss with Vaishali. So, bringing that up for you again. We are looking at across the board some momentum come in. Vaishali, would you still back big on Godrej properties, or are there other stocks that you would be tracking now?
Well, so I think actually these stocks do look good for a trading perspective. So I would say Godrej Properties has always been the stock which I have been looking at it very closely. So I would look at this stock with a support of 2020 for a trading target of 2200 to 2400.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has given you some understanding of how to look at the stock as well. But let's actually also pull up some of the other stocks that we could mark out for our viewers there. Let's talk about some of the stocks from, again, the defense pocket. You did mark out HAL, Mazagon Dock. Apart from Mazagon, do you think the other shipbuilders, Garden Reach, Cochin, are they also seeing some traction, or is it only limited to Mazagon? Because news flows also came in only on the Mazagon Dock stock today. How would you look at the entire shipbuilding space? Because Mazagon Dock, as per some of the reports, is indicating that the central government has actually given some clearance to the Ministry of Defence and Mazagon Dock to begin negotiations to buy 6 submarines to be built in India with German support under Project 75 India. So these are just reports that are coming in. We don't have any confirmation, but that's one of the key reasons why the stock is also in the focus today. Any suggestion on this one?
I would say Garden Reach, actually all these stocks on Friday, we saw good momentum. Even besides these on Garden Reach, we saw good strength coming in then, Idea Forge. So I would definitely look at Garden Reach. Overall, the trend is also very strong. So this is currently at a support level. I think it is at a support of a 100-day moving average, and I think this can. So if this sector shows further strength, the stock is worth a look.
Okay, got that. Let's also look at some of the other stocks that are buzzing. In the Nifty next 50 names, we also have Info Edge that's higher in trade. From the Pharma pack, you have Divi's Laboratories from the diagnostic chain that's up in trade. Some of the Adani Group stocks like Adani Green are in focus today. You also have names like retail space like Avenue Supermart that's also in focus. So a lot of these interesting names that are finding their way higher in the trade today. Let's talk about the pharma and the healthcare pack, Vaishali. What about names like Divi's? Do you think they have still a lot of upside left?
I would say so. Pharma sector all these days had shown some good run up. So Divi's, if we talk about, I think this can do with the support of 6,000 level, this can do 6,500, 6,600 levels.
Okay, fair point. Let me also just pull up some of the other interesting names. So we discussed a lot of real estate names that are in focus. Let's also discuss the cement basket. Again, last week we did see a lot of cement buzz also. Again, on the focus on GST rationalization that could bring down the GST rate on cement from 28% to 18%. That's what is being seen as likely. Cement basket, any key stocks coming on to your focus, Vaishali, today?
No, it's always, I would take it as an investment bet, and I always would show priority to Ultratech Cement. But for now, I'm not looking at it with a buying perspective. Maybe Ambuja can do well from these levels. So let me just have a closer look at Ambuja Cement. Ambuja Cement is at 578. So this has shown good retracement. This could do well from here on.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out on Ambuja Cement. That could be in focus again in trade, and of course could do well from here is what Vaishali's belief is, at least at this point in time. Let's actually talk about the biggest listed stock on the markets with market cap, Reliance Industries now. Vaishali, why we are talking about this is one, because August 29, Reliance Industries will be coming out with an AGM. This AGM is also being seen as an extremely important one, as already we are seeing that SEBI is looking at changing some IPO, pre-IPO norms as well. A lot of regulation focus is coming in. Easier of IPO, newer IPOs is also coming into focus, and we are already looking at some signs from Reliance Industries that could help us understand what is the roadmap for its key segments like a Geo or a retail to get listed separately. It's been a long-standing, anticipation of the street to see whether this kind of an announcement could further trigger a re-rating into the stock as well. For a large part of this calendar year, we did see RIL sulking quite a bit, even in 2024. But off late, over the last 2 or 3 months, there has been a recovery that's taken RIL stock beyond 1400 levels as well. Now we have a Kotak institutional report also on Reliance Industries. They have a buy rating and a target price of 1555. They actually believe with a significant 33% decline in capex, our Geo has become free cash flow positive and also enabled Reliance Industries to be free cash flow positive on a consolidated basis in FY25. However, due to the higher retail O2C new year energy capex, the overall capex was flat year on year at 1.3 trillion rupees. While capex they believe is not likely to rise much amid the improving profitability of key businesses, they expect the FCF to rise even further from here, and that's the key point. Free cash flow positive is what they are betting big on. How would you look at Reliance Industries at this point in time? Does it still make for a fresh buy?
I would say so. Actually, when I'm looking at the longer term time period chart also, and even now on a daily chart, I think the stock is in its regular pattern of, it's shown a good trend set in, good retracement set in. So once again, it is at a support level. So I would say 1380 for near term basis, 1380, 1350 acts as a good support. And the trading range right now is 1450, 1480. Move above 1450 would give you higher targets of 1550 and so on. So for now, yes, start accumulating this stock.
Okay, for now you can start accumulating the stock. That's what is the view on Reliance Industries for now. What else is sticking apart from IT space is metals now, 0.8% higher. So shining bright at this point in time. Jindal Stainless is up by about 3.6%. Nalco is up 1.5%. Hindalco, Hindustan Zinc, NMDC, even Steel Authority is up in trade. Tata Steel, Vedanta, Welspun Corp. These are all the stocks within the metals pack that are in the buzzing zone right now. Any metal stock that you would like to carry a trade in?
I think Hindalco even now looks quite attractive. So I
Okay.
would definitely look at Hindalco, currently 715. But of course, the risk reward ratio is a bit on a higher side. So I would wait for a dip. But I think this stock can do 740, 750 levels. But 680 acts as a support. So closer to 700 makes a good buy.
Okay, a fair point. I hope this has also given a lot of understanding to our viewers. But let's actually discuss the pocket that has been under some pressure. The capital markets related stocks, BSE, Angel One, brokerage related stocks, NSDL, CDSL. We'll keep in focus all these stocks as well, and some brokerage related stocks too. I want to bring full focus here. One, we understand that there is an overhang of what will happen to the derivatives contract. There is a clear view. SEBI has been consistently taking a lot of measures to somehow protect the end consumer, the retail investor, the small retail investor who's been at the loser's end when it comes to F&O trading, and they want to protect that with either curbing the expiries, increasing the duration, anything and everything is possible so that the end consumer is benefited. How would you look at this? Apart from this, there's also a buzz on the street. I'm sure, Vaishali, you would have also been looking at how the recent passage of the online gaming bill has led to a lot of buzz on Twitter and social media talking about whether all that free money can actually come into the stock markets as well. How would you look at both these, positives and negatives playing around for the entire brokerage space?
Well, I would say definitely we have seen stocks like Nazara and all really taking a beating. But now what we need to see, let's talk about Nazara itself to start with. 1100, it has technically done its bit of correction. So further weakness is called for only below 1100. Till then, I don't think it's worth a sell. But talking about BSC, Angel One, and all these stocks, they've already seen good run up. So that euphoria is gone for now. But I think not in a hurry, but I think 2200 as far as BSE is concerned, if you are looking at long-term perspective, let's look at it at 2200 levels. That could make a good buying opportunity over there.
Okay, got that. I hope this is also given some understanding to all our viewers there. Let me also highlight one more time the IT related momentum that everybody is looking at, because that's the one that's clearly buzzing in trade today. Look at the broader market stocks, Emphasis, Oracle Financial Services, Persistent, Coforge, all those erstwhile favorites are coming back. LTI Mindtree is up in trade as well. KPIT Technologies is also in focus. Of course, large caps we've already marked out for our viewers. So the entire space seems to be in thick action. From any broader market related IT stock, would you like to mark out any?
So TCS is taking the limelight right now. You see the stock 3000 acts as a good support. So I think maybe 3300, 3350 could be the level to watch for profit booking as a trading perspective. But besides that, we are looking at Wipro also quite oversold, and it's trying to bounce back. Infosys, in fact, yes, Infosys also. I think overall full IT pack looks attractive right now.
Okay, got that. Let me also just take some of the other stock ideas that we can discuss with Vaishali. PSU banks, that's now moving up. Even private banks has improved from the day's low point at this point in time. So let's discuss the banking space at large too. IOB is definitely up on the back of news flows. We've already marked out the rejig news for you all. UCO Bank, Punjab National Bank, BOB, Canara Bank, these are all the stocks that are higher again. That's in focus. Even private banks are also now showing us some ticks on the higher end. Banking space, what's looking interesting to you, Vaishali?
I would look at ICICI as far as the private sector banks are concerned. So I think 1400 is a good support, already in a good strong uptrend. So I think 1400 acts as a good support. I would buy the stock once we see levels of 1400. And yes, besides that, even HDFC is continuing to hold its trend. So I think these are the stocks right now which are still a good buy.
Okay, got that. Let me just take some of the other questions that are coming in my mind as far as some of the stocks are concerned. Okay, let's discuss the broader markets, mid and small caps. Let's see if there is any, key stock idea that we can spot from here. Okay, there are small caps, a lot of small cap IT names also that are buzzing. Look at Newgen, for instance, 6% higher. Sonata, Zensar Tech is also buzzing. Action Construction, Birla Soft, that's also buzzing. We also have some fertilizer names like Naveen Fluorine also on the buzz right now. First Source Solutions, it's all across the board. The IT names that you can actually look at: PCBL Chemical, Aster DM Healthcare, Laurus Labs, Zen Technologies. So many of these stocks that are buzzing in trade. You also have an IFL Finance, for instance, that's also on the buzz. Vaishali, anything from the small cap basket that you could highlight?
So Sakshi, I don't know. I think this does come in small cap. KPIT is to always my stock, which I see gives good returns. I mean, at these levels, even Science is good. And FSL, of course, it's a good trend, but not a good level to buy because it's already shown its run up in the recent past. So yes, these are the stocks. FSL has a very good strong trend. KPIT looks good at these levels. So does Science. So these are the stocks, yes, which can give a good up move from here.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also given a lot of understanding there for all our viewers to munch on there. Okay, some oil and gas FMCG sectors are actually seeing some cuts at this point in time. You can also look at infra, which is somehow declining a tad bit. On the Nifty, where is there some pressure? Eternal is about half odd percent lower. You have some FMCG stocks like ITC, Nestle that are down. You can also see Bharti Airtel that's seeing some profits being taken off. Last week, this entire telecom space was up into the buzz. Vaishali, Bharti Airtel, what's the sense that you have?
Bharti, of course, I would not take it as a trading stock. This
Yeah.
is a stock which is one of the best in the telecom sector. Every dip makes it a buying opportunity. So even right now, it's holding its trend very well. I would say 1850 is the good support level, and for a positional trade, this could go towards 2100 or so. So that is how I would look at this stock.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also given some sense to our viewers. Let's discuss Info Edge. What's the move here telling you? Would you like to carry this trade further?
Let's have a look. So,
Nokri.
yes, so Info Edge is 1412. I think so because take today's low as stop loss, and if this momentum continues, right now we are seeing a minute hurdle at around 1440 levels. So intraday target can go to 1440.
Okay, got that. I hope you viewers who are trading and looking for some opportunities within the trading aspect have actually understood how to really look at these stocks at this point in time. Meanwhile, what else has slipped into the red? You can see Max Healthcare that slipped, CDSL, BSC, Angel One from the capital markets, or even Suzlon is down by 1%. Let's discuss this one. There's a lot of retail interest always, Vaishali, when it comes to Suzlon. We've been seeing some pressure built up of late. How are you looking at Suzlon? Is this an accumulation zone? Is this a stock that will again go back to 80 odd levels and beyond? How would you really look at it?
Currently, of course, it's showing signs of weakness. So I'll still wait it out. If I see this breaking the levels of 55, then it would be an exit for me. So for now, I will hold. And if the stock sustains above 65, 70, then yes, once again, we can hope for the previous high of 80-85.
Okay, fair point. I hope this is also got a lot of investors' interest going there. Let me ask you on the hotel hospitality related space. That was also seeing some part of the consumption driven news trickle in and benefit some of the hotel stocks of late over the last 1 or 2 weeks. Why am I asking you to focus on this space? One, you can of course, Vaishali, point out to us the key hotel stocks that you like and which can be seen as both trading and investing names. Two, I wanted to ask you on the recently diversified and listed ITC hotels. ITC hotels is in focus, viewers, today because they have got their first sell rating from a brokerage firm, as JM Financial has cited stretched valuations there. A total of 6 analysts with coverage on ITC do have buy recommendations on the stock, with JM Financial becoming the first one with a sell rating on ITC at this point in time, and JM Financial has projected a potential downside of 12 odd % for the stock as well. You can actually see the stock has moved up about 45-48% odd from the time it got diversified and listed. Let's find out what exactly is in the offing for this one too. So Vaishali, an overall view on the hospitality space, your top choice of stocks and ITC hotels.
But the disclaimer, we had recommended Lemon Tree last week and it did do very well, and I still feel that it will do well, but yet not a buying opportunity at this level. I would say wait for a dip. Talking about IDC, I think of course I have limited data, but I would say with this rating, if the stock drops to around 230 and all, I would definitely consider a buying opportunity for a long-term perspective. The other stocks that come to my mind are Chalet. That too looks positive. That is got a scope of going further high. So yes, I would say hotel industry is a sector which will flourish in times to come. So wait for a good dip to get into the stock.
Okay, fair point. 9:38. Let's quickly try and understand, Vaishali, the strategy on the Nifty Bank for the day, and any key ideas that come onto your mind afresh after the first 20-25 minutes are done.
So as I said, Sakshi, about 24,950, I would be looking at 25,000 levels, 25,050 also. So that would be one of the levels that I would watch for. Bank Nifty also showing signs of revival, so 55,350 would be the next target that I would look at. And talking about stocks, we spoke about Supreme Industries, that is showing strength. So also is the case with Voltas once again. So, I would also look at the chemical sector. So UPL, Tata Chemicals is starting afresh. Yeah. So I think this would give the trading strategy.
Fantastic. Okay, all right, Vaishali. Then thank you so much for being with us on the program and helping us out with your trading ideas as well as strategy on the markets too. Always a pleasure to have you with us. 24,966 right now, viewers. As far as the Nifty is concerned, we've moved to the high point of the day within 25 minutes of trade. So you can see we are nearing to that 25,000 mark yet again. There could be another attempt from the bulls to retest the 25,000 mark, but whether the truncated action this week will prevent the bulls to go out full-fledged is a question that we really need to look at. What will be in support and what will be a clear, somehow a space that could trigger some volatility. So domestically, what you could look at as triggers are from the GDP numbers that could be coming in. You could also be looking at the RIL AGM that is going to be in focus for this week. But on the flip side, 27th of August, that's in the middle of this week on Wednesday, we are awaiting whether India will be, which has been already threatened to have another additional 25% tariff that will take the total tariffs to 50% for India and the Indian goods and exports to the US is something that is going to be a clear overhang. But right now, if you see 24,965, the markets are on a bullish trend, at least for now. We'll have to see how this really pans out in trade. So stay tuned with us throughout the course of the session today, and we'll definitely catch up all the momentum and help you understand newer trading strategies, investing strategies from top market experts joining in throughout the course of the day. And of course, 12 noon, we answer all your questions on daily calls. So stay tuned for that too.
We are joined by Arunesh Chawla, who's the Secretary of DIPAM. Thank you for joining us on Business Today, sir. Sir, I want to start by asking you that what are the